They gon' recognize them real lies. Fake friends, kinda like I can't tell between my real guys. Also walking, I've been feeling low, getting real high. So much pain, Bill, look in the mirror, see the real cry. Real lies, they gon' recognize them real lies.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? We back with another very, very special episode of the 2-3 show, man. Shout out MF Holy Land 90 Coaches sponsor. Shout out, what is it, Soul Music? Is that the name of the record shop? Yeah. Shout out Soul Music Record Shop. Y'all come check them out. But I got a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself, brother?
My name is Ariel Basso, a.k.a. Uno. A lot of people know me as. And great to be here.
Hey, we appreciate you for having you, man. We inside this beautiful art studio full of some amazing pieces, all different kinds of art, very inspiring. Everything you look at has layers. You look into it, it's deep, and I think that you are amazing. I'm pretty sure you have more stuff too.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Where you from, bro?
So I grew up in Miami, Florida, out in Carroll City. Okay. Was there, there until I was 20, and then moved a little bit north. And then I was living in Brooklyn for 10 years. Okay. And now I'm back and living in Palm Beach.
So you're a Florida boy that went to New York. How was that transition?
Everybody's telling me this is the other way around. Usually we go down there.
Right.
No, but I love New York. New York had a lot for me. I even came up with a New York saying. And for the people that lived in New York or understands New York, I said, New York, you might age quickly, but you live twice.
Nah, for sure. Nah, New York is definitely a different city, different animal, man.
Yeah.
I hang around a lot of New Yorkers myself. So, like, did you enjoy your? First of all, how did you take your first winter when you went out there? How was that for you? You know what? You shaking like you shaking your boots.
Oh man. Well, first I got there in fall, and I wasn't used to I had to get up in the morning. I was working for Whole Foods, so I had to get up in the morning before the sun, and I would leave work. And the sun would be down, so I never saw the sun.
Right.
And being in Florida, man, that messed up my psyche.
Yeah, for sure. That's why Florida got to watch. So, what were you a subway catcher? Or did you drive?
No. I used my Chevrolet legs.
You walk. See, New York is the city of trains and legs, bro. Like y'all do not.
That's it. Trains and legs.
Yeah. So that was crazy. So you say your first winter, it wasn't too brutal though. Like by the time the snow hit.
Man, I was so wide-eyed. I had never seen snow to that point.
Okay.
So for me, I just bundled up. I don't mind the cold because I run hot either way.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I like that things were quiet and you can just roam around the city and whatnot. But yeah, no, I embraced it. I embraced it.
What made you go up there? Was it like I see? Did it have anything to do with the art? Or was it like?
Yeah, well, so it's funny because I went out there with Whole Foods for like a team build.
Okay.
And man, I went to this bar talking to the bar back about film. And he knew so much about film, and just a conversation inspired me. Walking down the streets of Manhattan inspired me, and I'm like, man, I gotta get out of Florida for a little bit. And the music, I'm a musician as well as an artist, so
okay,
you can't go wrong with New York.
New York. So did you feel like it was a good? You was out there for 10 years. Did you accomplish a lot? Did you push forward? Or
Oh man, something. New York is one of the things. It's like. There's no time for just like being in the back foot. You got to be on top of your game. Moving,
quick,
connecting. And I personally find that New Yorkers are very friendly, but it's after they know, like once you're able to get to know a person face to face, they understand that you're with them, and you're there for the grind and creating.
I'm from Chicago, but like I go to New York. I got family out there and stuff. So like I feel like New Yorkers, they're not really mean people. They just they move fast and they always got a place to be. So like if you're not trying to get to where you gotta go and you just in their way, it definitely causes they don't like that. Like
you hit it right in the nail. Yeah,
they
man.
got their business. Like some of a lot of the people I work with down here, they're from New York, and like I always say, they are the most hustling people I know. Like they get out, they connect, they network, and they hustle, and that kind of rubbed off on me.
For sure.
More, that laid back guy for sure. So
yeah, man, I did a piece like a 15-foot piece, and their train track, their Amtrak it's called MTA, and the painting it was called More Than Attitude because that's what I saw with people.
They
have something to do, something to be inspired by, And so it's not an attitude; it's a focus.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's that New York state of mind.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's dope. So when you came back to Florida, how did you transition back in quicker?
So, hey man, it happened very quickly. I was with some business partners opening up a restaurant out there.
Okay.
And later, after we opened it up, we were ongoing. I get a call from my mom, man, and she's a strong woman. She's never like really showed any like weakness or whatnot. And
great mother.
Yeah, like a strong warrior woman.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I heard her on the phone, she was sounded afraid and scared. She just developed breast cancer, and her vision was like fastly declining. She was overweight, and it was like, all right, it's time for me to go back.
So you came back from mom?
And yeah, I came back from mom, and it's, talk about somebody that inspires you every day, man. It's like this woman lost her eyesight, and it's not skipping a beat. She still inspires me. Well, she, what's that military saying? Adapt and overcome.
Yeah,
that's her. She adapts and she just overcomes all obstacles.
I'm glad to hear
Very
that,
inspiring
man,
to me.
For sure. I think mothers are definitely inspiring. Period. I'm glad that glad she's still good. She here with you.
Yeah, man.
That, man.
Yeah. She's here with me, and that's kind of like my next mission is to get an exhibition next year that travels.
For your mom?
Well, because my stuff intentionally is made, and I can with it being braille, being raised, is for her to navigate and for her to feel. So next year I'm looking to do a traveling exhibition to a lot of the centers, because kids with autism, they love texture, as well as the blind. That's how they navigate.
Yeah.
So I want to do, like, when you go to galleries, the first thing they say, don't touch the art. I want you to touch the art. I want you to feel. I want you to have an experience.
That's dope. That's an amazing concept. I mean, I was definitely gonna dive into the art. How long have you been painting? I know you do.
Man,
music stuff too.
I started creating before I even knew what art was. It was like, it was always something that's the only way I concentrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could relate.
You'd be drawing, and the teacher's like, yeah, I remember this teacher, man. And I'm like, this is how I hear you. I have to be drawing.
I was in class writing raps for sure.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure your teacher didn't do this. My teacher used to put me up front after she would tell me to stop drawing, and literally I would have to hold dictionaries on each hand and look at the class with dictionary.
In Florida?
Yeah, man.
That's
you see, I'm a little older than you, so Florida was like, we had a teacher with a paddle with the holes in it.
Okay, so you grew up in that generation.
Yeah, I'm an older cat.
Old folks swear the teachers used to spank you, bro. Like,
principals used to spank you.
You from that it take a village to raise a kid generation, for sure. Your mom didn't even trip that the teacher just gave you a whooping in school. She's like, you shouldn't have been doing that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, not
freedom. Go ahead, you gotta whoop his ass. All right.
Not in 2023, brother, but
nah, man, canceled.
You feel me, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a different time, but I've been doing art ever since back in elementary school. That was my way of like getting out of class. They would make me do the murals and all there was only like 3 artists in the whole, like that really were real swift with it. So we were like a little team, and we would just do all the holidays and all that. And then that's how I make my little money on the side with selling like Ninja Turtle posters.
That's dope. So you've been doing art since a youngin', and like what did you go to school for it?
So I had some. It's an interesting story because, so I didn't go specifically to, I only went to one school for 1 year. That was Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale for college.
Okay.
But I had some really things, 2 years of intense depression when my first year at college, I had 4 deaths in my family, and then my dad had a stroke. And that was just unraveled me. I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But I didn't even have a spiritual connection
yet. Well, you didn't know you did. You always did, because I guess you didn't know you did. I would say that.
Well, so growing up, I played music in the Christian church, Baptist churches.
Yeah.
And I played trumpet. And but when I started like going astray, I walked in. My cousin OD'd. I walked in, and that kind of threw me in a loop. And after his death, I questioned everything. is
think we all
atheist,
go
is
through that.
atheist. Yeah, but I was like,
I wouldn't say I was atheist, but
oh yeah, I got to that point of atheism.
and what you and now you like you back? Are you?
Oh man, so if I could tell you that story, it's one that transformed me to the person I am now. So I went through 2 years of deep depression where I used to look at people and I used to wonder, man, when am I going to smile again? When am I going to laugh again? And it became real foreign. I was very highly suicidal. Man, and one day I was in the shower and I was like, water was running and I got to like that last point of my life and I just said, whatever created me, whatever that is, I left it blank. I was like, whatever that is, I need you to come into my life right now. And like that in the shower, my feet started tingling, my knees, my hips, and I collapsed in the shower. In my head, I was thinking I was having a stroke because my dad had just had a stroke a few months prior. So now I'm in the shower, water's running. I'm there for an hour. Mom finally opens the door and sees me laying there. My brother, after I told her, listen, put me in bed. The next morning, I wake up and I felt different, but I didn't know what it was. So I went to the edge of my bed and 2 years of non-laughing erupted like a volcano.
You started laughing?
I started laughing.
Man, that's beautiful.
So hard.
That's deep, but that's beautiful.
It was just like, some people say it's called samadhi, or I don't know what it was. I just know after 25 minutes, I finally I was like exhausted from laughing so hard, but like I really had the biggest release ever.
Yeah.
And I heard a voice in my head that said, get all your art supplies, all your music, all the things that you're attached to in your room and give it to your mom. And I want you to stay in this room for 2 weeks by yourself with no distractions, with 1 meal a day. This is what I heard in my head. I thought I was going nuts, but I followed it.
Facts.
So I spent 2 weeks inside the room, almost like the boot camp, like a spiritual boot camp.
Yeah.
I hadn't read anything, but I felt like I was being remote controlled. You know what I mean? And I made from that moment on, and that was at 19, a vow that all my work, all my creative work is a devotion to the possibility of our infinite and how to connect, especially in a world that we're living in now where they're trying to divide us, to see beyond the eyes and be able to feel someone's soul and feel someone's spirit. Like we're all perfectly unique.
For sure.
And you know what I mean? And to connect.
I definitely, I'm not going to say it on camera, but I had a similar experience, like an out of body experience type of situation where it was similar. It was very similar. It was like it's crazy because it started when I was like, I wouldn't say I was like a shorty. I was in the shower. I could make it quick. It was like I was real deep. I was real
Take your
big
time,
on an
man.
Illuminati type situation. I was doing like a lot of research on Illuminati. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna say no names because I don't know how viral this is gonna go one day. But I'm thinking like a lot of these musicians in the rap game sell their soul and like walk the bam and this and that. And I was like, man, well, like if you was ever to sell your soul, how much would it be worth and all that? And I was thinking, I was like probably like 11, 10, 12. I don't know. I was younger, so I'm thinking this. I'm in the shower and I'm like, yeah, well. I was 15, I was 16. Actually, I remember who I was. I was 16. I'm in the shower. I'm like, you know what's going on? I'm like, and like, I don't know why. I'm like, you know, like maybe like $1 billion. You know?
Yeah.
And like, and when I thought that, the first time I thought, what, like you fucking, why would you think that? Like, that is like the worst thing you ever make.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like, the next day I didn't think nothing of it. But like moving forward, I always thought like, bro, like what if that was like, you know, like what if that was that? Like, and like, it kind of haunted me for like a long time. And I went through a deep depression similarly. And I was just lost. I felt like I had really messed up with God. And like I had really like, you know, like time to like really like I offered my soul. You know?
Yeah.
And like, and it wasn't until like I started like looking, I'm like, okay, so if that's how that went, I was going through depression. So like I didn't tell nobody, I never spoke about it. I was just like, but you could probably tell like if you watch the signs. But and I realized, okay, well like if that's what I did, if it's a God and it's a devil, whatever in the world, obviously the devil can never overpower God. So even if that was the situation, I could always go back to God. And when I figured that out, it was like I had that moment, not just laughter of where I was like, okay, I could be good. Like my life is not over. And I literally had an epiphany because like when I did it, it didn't happen. But I was smoking weed one day and like I had that like that thought kind of hit my mind where like it ran like, bro, remember like 2 years ago you said this? Yeah, it's finna catch you. And like that's when I went through the depression part. And then like like 2 years later, maybe like a year and a half later,
Yeah.
that's when I came to the realization, like, okay, no, I'm good. I always run to God type situation.
Oh,
And
that's
how that works. So like,
man.
I could definitely relate to what
Thanks
like.
for sharing for that, because those are the kind of these are kind of things that we have to like. I appreciate you saying that, seriously, and I connected with it, because these are kind of conversations, especially with mental illness, what's going on. You get a lot of young cats right now thinking that it's like a storm, it'll eventually pass.
Yeah, for sure.
But you got to be observant of
For
the storm
sure.
and not feel that you are the storm.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Just and hopefully you
I feel
find
like
some
you
relief.
strong, bro. Like you got to be strong, cause like you
Yeah.
probably didn't tell like too many people that you like what you had going on in your mind. You was like just
sure.
kind of fighting it. So like during that time, were you doing art though? Like during like your time with the
So yeah, I've never some people around me they understand that. So if I'm not creating, I usually I'm a little bit of I'm irritable.
okay.
If I'm not creating, I'm a little irritable.
Okay.
So if there's any pockets of time, sometimes I have to catch myself. So if I'm not drawing or painting or anything,
Yeah.
I'm on my horn. So I'm
Okay.
always like seesawing, but I'm always doing something creatively. Yeah.
Facts. So
I'm like
that's dope. That's
totally
dope.
different person.
So I see like now like just like looking at some of these paintings, bro. You got any names for any of these paintings, bro?
Yeah, man. Well, over here, this one's this one's called Transitional Timeline. Transitional Timeline. This is actually the 4th iteration of that. The idea behind that is the moment we leave this body, we transcend. The moment we leave this body, I've seen in my mind that we all go into the infinite web of creation.
Right.
And for me, this is almost like a highway, almost like what people might say
Like the Matrix.
the Akashic records of the Matrix, all infinite.
Yeah.
So then the gold is like different souls that have just transcended, and they're part of that like highway.
Okay.
And and it's almost like they're like, pick me for them to come back onto Earth.
Is that the dot? Is that the gold dots or
The gold dots,
okay.
yeah. And these kind of symbols, I've had people
They
like
look Chinese. Are they Chinese?
no, they're completely stream of consciousness. I see them.
That's crazy. That's
through
like some Hindu like crazy.
I had a this style, and we can get into it if you want, but I see these patterns constantly. This style has started happening after a paranormal experience that I had.
Okay.
And then after that, I just started doing them obsessively.
Do you have any art influences like any other artists you look into?
Yeah, man, I get a little bit from everybody, man. I'm a big fan of like Jasper Johns. I'm a big fan of Marc Chagall. I'm a big fan of like, you know what I really love, and I'll tell you.
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
You know what I really love is when, to me, artists is not just the means of art; it's the way they carry themselves in life.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
So there's artists that I might like their work, and I like only their work, but not them as a personality.
Right.
Like, it's funny, Picasso, I usually say pick an asshole because he was a total douchebag to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then I love like Marc Chagall, that he honored his queen, his wife, and Bella, and he like gave homage to her. Or Rembrandt loved Saskia, and he completely adored her, and he put his queen up in a pedestal. Like, so I can separate the work from the whole artist. To me is the complete the way they move through life.
Right. Okay.
You know?
So who would you say like is the person who you just complete art and through life that like you feel like you most like inspired by as an artist?
Man, so it's the thing. It's depending on what period of my life. Like I went through my Picasso, I went through my Dali stage, I went through my Basquiat stage, but I find for myself now, to be honest with you, the things that inspire me mostly is not the art of like painters. It's more like jazz musicians.
Okay.
Because they're sharing musical notes through color, like their energy and improvisation is like colors to me. It's like shapes and colors. The way they go, bop, whatever.
I was gonna get into that. How does music influence your paintings? We could go through the rest of these.
Yeah. I mean, everything is vibration. Everything is energy. Everything is for me is trying to capture motion with emotion. And the idea that I try to convey is like, and I heard it, I transposed it, but I heard it from Dizzy Gillespie one time. He goes, I don't want music just to be for the ears. I want them to reach inside the soul.
What does transpose mean?
Transpose is when like you grab let's say a song, and you can transpose it to a different key, make that same song into a different key. So I said the same thing about what Dizzy's quote about, like, I want to make music beyond the ears. I want to make it soul. Right. I want to make art for beyond soul. The eyes. I want to hit them in the soul.
This is definitely like some soulful, just like, it's like when you look at it, it's definitely, I see like, it gives a vibration. It see like, you see like,
thanks, brother.
The infinite possibilities of life. Like, that's what I see.
Thank you. It's funny because that's the name of that painting, Infinite Possibilities. And it's the idea is that we all have ideas throughout our day. And the one that, it's the one that lights up the most. And that's the one you want to get guided, following the breadcrumbs. Keep following the breadcrumbs. It'll unpack,
I got so just quick side note. You're an artist, man. Do that come with like a lot of ladies? Like, how does that?
Did it come up with a lot of ladies?
When you tell them you do art, do they just want to like, ooh, paint me naked? Or like, how do that? I might pick me up a paintbrush if it come with that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just trying to see something real quick.
Oh man, let's just say I've gone through my younger years of being rambunctious.
Okay. So in other words, yes, it does. It's come with a lot of plan. You might got a whole woman at home. I ain't trying to get my dog in no trouble, man. You feel me? But nah. So what's this piece called though, brother?
It's funny. It's a Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Sacred Heart. And like one of the things I've been since I go up with with the feel of it has allowed me to create like different walls where I'm able to now segregate epoxy and make it like, that's why you see the flat with the raise with the gloss.
Right.
And I kind of like that tug and pull with all the different feels, but it also gave me the option or the possibility for someone to be able to see their own reflection when you stand in front of it. And that was the idea for, I'm like hoping.
Your art, it got like a modern but ancient feel to it. Like I see this in like ancient anywhere like India, Egypt, Greece, like but then like I see it like being 2020 like it's very modern, but it got like that ancient, because like I feel like back then they were painting like a lot. They were like you said, they were more spiritual. Like they were in tune with the earth and all that. So a lot of their paintings came from like how they felt their inner sides look. And like when I look at all your work, it like it definitely just gives like like just ancient, but it gives modern though. Like I've really never seen nothing like I've never seen anything like this.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah,
dope, man, sure.
And you hit it. Yeah, definitely. That's the feel that's the. I believe that we can tap into our ancient past.
Okay,
you know what I mean. I believe that energy will never die. So who's to say that you cannot tap into our ancestors to help you? Give you some guidance.
Nah, for sure. That's 100% fact, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Let's talk some music real quick. I gotta go host these events, man. So you was telling me about is it Harry Mack?
Oh yeah, Harry Mack. So I'm a big fan of Harry Mack. He's a jazz drummer, but he's one of the greatest freestyle MCs.
Okay.
Very much. I'm always inspired by his work, and so I did a painting for him that I'll be shipping over very soon. And
it's a dope paint. Hey, look, Harry Mack. I don't know if you seen it, chat, but I seen it, and I don't know, but wherever you put it in the crib, when they walk in, people gonna say this is probably one of the best pieces of art in your house.
Respect. Thank you.
But
yeah, man, he's definitely. It's funny because I'm not an MC, but his energy and how he moves in life inspires me as another creator.
Okay.
It's like it's pretty brilliant to see somebody drop into flow state on the dime.
That's what's up. Yeah, as a freestyle artist, I definitely respect a lot. I respect it. I'm gonna actually go. I gotta go check him out, and I'm gonna go look. So I never heard of him, but he's saying dope. So who are some of your favorite musicians though?
Oh man, I listen to, like I think I was telling you before. I've been listening to a lot of Coast Contra.
Okay, yeah.
Coast Contra. I've been listening to. I like all kinds of music. Louis Armstrong. I think it's Louis Armstrong. Yeah, Louis Armstrong said it best one time. He goes, "There's only really two kinds of music: good and bad." So I'm only into the good music.
That's you know what? I might throw you on a track saying that because you know how Drake got there. You know, only the real stuff gonna last. All the rest of this gonna be hit a day, go tomorrow. You know, so it's like I might. Oh, that was. I think was that Luke? No, that was Duke Ellison. I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Duke of Dukes.
But,
you know.
Yeah, though, man. So you say, anybody you want to shout out or just
man, I just want to first of all, thank you for having this.
Too, brother.
I'm over here at the Northwood Art of Music Warehouse in West Palm Beach. This is a warehouse with a venue, a warehouse where we have about 7 different artists out here, and we're doing our thing, putting good vibes out, and we'd have. Event jazz nights on Monday. So come check us out. Go on Northwood Art and Music Warehouse on IG and whatnot. And if you are here, just come say what's up to me and we'll vibe.
One more question. If anybody wants to purchase any of this beautiful work, is any of this for sale?
Yeah. You just reach out to me. Right now, I'm switching my website from WordPress into a different platform, so it's a little behind. But you can go on IG or Facebook and just find me at Project Sacred Life, and just hit me up, and I'll we can talk, and I love to have the beautiful exchange.
I heard the man. Go get that. Go get that work, man.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yo, my man.
Appreciate you.
Blessing.
Thank you,
Blessing,
bro. For sure. Shout out Emma Holy Land, my dog. Shout out 90 Coaches, and the 2-3 show is out, man.